Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to today's Finance 360-degree sessions in which we cover all the relevant and important finance current affairs and the RBI notifications which are important from your exam point of view. And in today's session, we are going to discuss two very important finance current affairs, two very important notifications that have been released by the Reserve Bank of India. So first of all, the first notification is regarding, so do tell me that if I am audible and visible clearly. Okay, so the first notification is regarding the Reserve Bank of India and the Bank Indonesia. They have came together. They have signed a very important MOU, a memorandum of understanding between the two reserve banks. Okay, or between the two monetary authorities of the India and Indonesia. So we are going to discuss that what is this MOU, why this MOU has been signed, how it is going to help both the countries. Okay, and this is a very important MOU that has been signed between India and Indonesia. Now the second news article is regarding the RBI that has issued the directions to the card networks regarding the credit cards. Okay, so what is the directions that has been released and how it will be applicable? All of this we are going to understand, and how it will benefit the customers, that also we are going to understand in today's session. Okay, so I hope that I am clearly audible and visible, and let's start with the session. So before starting with the session, do subscribe to the YouTube channel and join our Telegram channel. Okay, where you will get the PDF of the session. So you will get the PDF of the session in the Telegram channel. So starting with the Reserve Bank of India and the Bank Indonesia, they have signed the memorandum of understanding, and this MOU has been signed in Mumbai for establishing a framework to promote the use of local currencies, that is the Indian rupee and the Indonesian rupiah, for the cross-border transactions that happen between India and Indonesia. So there is the MOU that has been signed that we should be using the rupees and Indonesian rupiah for the cross-border transactions rather than using the dollars, converting your rupees into dollars and giving the dollars to the Indonesia. They will convert these dollars into the IDR. So rather than this complicated and long process where the dollars are being used, rather than this, what can happen that the rupees and the Indonesian rupiah can be used for the cross-border transactions. Okay, so the MOU was signed by the Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Sri Shaktikanta Das, and the Governor of the Bank Indonesia, Mr. Peri Warjio. Okay, so the details are that the MOU has been signed for establishing a framework. Okay, MOU is on establishing a framework for the cooperation in the area of cross-border transactions. Cross-border transactions, the trade that is happening in the goods, in the services, the remittances that are being given, or the transfer payments that are happening, as well as the investment that is being done by the Indian investors in Indonesia, or vice versa, that the Indonesian investors are doing the investment in India, the foreign direct investment or foreign portfolio investment. So for all the cross-border transactions, the cross-border transaction should happen in the local currencies between India and Indonesia. The aim is to promote the use of INR, that is the Indian rupees, and the IDR, that is the Indonesian rupiah. Okay, bilaterally. The MOU covers all the current account transactions. So the current account transactions are the transactions that are the trade in goods, the trade in services, as well as the transfer payments. So these all comes under the current account. These all comes under the current account. Okay, then there is the capital account. The capital account, in this the investments come, that is the investment that we are doing in Indonesia or the Indonesian investors are doing in India. So all the investment, that is the foreign direct investment or the foreign portfolio investment, the external commercial borrowings or the external borrowings, so the borrowings that we are taking from Indonesia or Indonesia is taking from us, as well as the assistance that our government is providing to their government or their government is providing to our government. So that all comes under the capital account. So I hope you understand that for all the current account transactions, that is for the trade in goods, the trade in services, for the transfer payments, the transactions will happen in the INR and IDR in between India and Indonesia. For the permissible capital account transactions, there are some of the capital account transactions that are permitted. Like for the FDI or for the FPI, there are the limitations. There are the limits that have been imposed by the Reserve Bank of India, that the FPI, foreign portfolio investment, should not come more than this percentage or should not go more than this percentage. So there are the permissions that have to be taken, or there are the limitations in the capital account transactions. For the external commercial borrowings, how much a entity, commercial entity in our country can borrow from outside. On that also there are the limitations. So for the permissible capital account transactions also, this IDR and the INR can be used for the transactions between India and Indonesia, and any other economic or financial transactions that are agreed upon by both the countries. Other than the permissible capital account transactions, there can be the other transactions that can happen between the countries. For that also, the MOU is discussing, or the MOU is laying down the framework, is establishing the framework for the usage of the local currencies, that is the Indian rupees and the Indonesian rupiah. Okay, so this framework would enable the exporters and the importers to invoice and pay in their respective currencies. That means the Indonesia will pay their Indonesian rupiah to India, and that we can convert into rupees, and we will pay our rupees to Indonesia, that they can convert in the IDR. So the dollars will be taken away from the in middle. Okay, so the dollars are being taken away, and then directly the transactions will be settled in rupees and the Indonesian rupiah. So the exporters and the importers, they can invoice and pay in their respective domestic currencies, which in turn would enable the development of an INR IDR foreign exchange market. Okay, so INR IDR foreign exchange market is being developed. Use of local currencies would optimize the cost and the settlement time for transactions. So here we have taken away the dollars. So what is happening, that without using the dollars, the transactions are happening directly in between the rupees and the IDR. Okay, otherwise we would have to use the dollars in middle. So we are not using the dollars in middle, we are directly doing the transactions through the rupees and the IDR. So the settlement and time will also reduce, as well as the cost will also reduce, as the settlement will happen in a faster manner. My voice is low. My voice is low, or is it fine? And is it clear, everyone? This news article, everyone has understood it? So this collaboration marks a key milestone in strengthening the bilateral cooperation between between Reserve Bank of India and the Bank Indonesia. The use of local currencies will happen for the bilateral transactions between India and Indonesia. Okay, this will eventually contribute to promote trade between the two nations, because now we do not need the dollars for the transactions. Directly through our currency, the trade will happen in between the countries, as well as deepen the financial integration and strengthen the long historical and cultural economic relation between India and Indonesia. Okay, so now this is clear. So this was the whole news article, that this is the first time that we can say directly through the two local currencies the transactions will happen. Okay, we have tried this with Russia, but with Russia there was the Vostro account, there was the special Vostro account that was opened. Okay, and the transactions could happen in rupees through this special Vostro account. But in this case, there is no need of the special Vostro account, because the transactions are happening in the local currencies, in rupees as well as in the Indonesian rupiah. Okay, so directly the two countries can transact in their own currencies that are being converted into the other currency. So this is the whole news article that you needed to understand. The statement based question can come, that for which activities the MOU has been signed, for which transactions they are allowed under this MOU, and the local currencies are which currencies? It is the Indian rupees and Indonesian rupiah. Okay. Now the next news article is regarding the arrangement with the card networks for the issue of credit cards. Okay, so the card networks, see, first of all, RBI has directed the credit card issuers. So this is especially for the credit cards. Okay, the credit card issuers that are usually the banks, or some of the NBFCs can also issue the credit cards, or the non-banks can also issue the credit cards. So RBI has directed the credit card issuers to give the customers an option to choose from multiple card networks. Okay, so what was happening, that sometimes a bank was doing a specific arrangement with the card network, with a particular card network, let's say Visa. So this bank has done a arrangement or agreement with Visa that now this bank cannot do any other agreement with any other card network. So what is happening that the customers will have no option. They will have to get the credit card. If they want to get the credit card from this bank, they will have to get the credit card of this card network, that is Visa. Okay. So this was the idea that the customers had no option to choose from the multiple card networks. They only had to like the banks were choosing the card network, and all the customers of the bank had to use the same card network. It can be Visa or it can be any particular card network. So RBI has directed the credit card issuers, the banks or the non-banks that are issuing the credit cards, to give customers an option. If they want to have, like, I want to have RuPay credit card. Okay, I want to have the credit card that has the RuPay system or the RuPay card network, because that is the indigenous card network of our country. Let's say someone wants to have the card network that is MasterCard or that is American Express, but you do not have the option. If the bank is providing you the card network that is Visa only, you will have to take Visa only. So there was no option that was given to the customers. So now RBI has said that give the option to the customers. Okay, the option should be given to the customers to choose from multiple card networks. So on March 6th, 2024, that is recently only, the RBI has released this notification, that is the arrangements with card networks for issue of credit cards, that there should be no such arrangement with the card networks for issuing the credit cards if they are restraining you from having the agreements with the other card networks. Okay, so we will understand this, that what is the idea. But the idea is that the regulator has restricted the card issuers. Card issuers are the ones that are issuing the credit cards, such as the banks or the non-banks, from entering. So the card issuers, the banks, have been restricted from entering into any kind of exclusive arrangement. You cannot get into exclusive arrangement with the card network for the issuance of credit cards, because then it is restraining your capacity, the banks or the non-banks capacity, to give the other kinds of provide the other kinds of card networks for the credit cards of their bank. Okay. So the idea is that the authorized card networks in India are the American Express Banking Corporation, Diners Club International Limited, MasterCard, Asia or Pacific Limited, Private Limited, NPCI, RuPay. So NPCI has developed RuPay, and Visa. So five authorized card networks are present in our country: American Express, Diners Club, MasterCard, Visa, and RuPay. Okay, so these are the 5 card networks that are authorized in our country. So the authorized card networks, they usually tie up with the banks or the non-banks for the issuance of the credit cards. So the banks and the non-banks, they sometimes get into exclusive arrangement with the particular card network. Let's take the example of Visa. Okay, the choice of the network for a card issued to a customer is decided by the card issuer, that is the bank or the non-bank is doing the arrangement with the particular card network, and so the choice is with the bank. The bank is not giving any choice to the customer, and the customer has no choice. They have to get the credit card from this particular bank, and then they will have to take this particular card network. Okay, and is linked to the arrangements. So the decision or the choice of the card network is with the bank or is with the card issuer, and this choice is usually linked with the arrangement that the card issuer has done with the card network in terms of their bilateral arrangement. So it doesn't depend upon that which card network is better. It just depends upon that the bank has done an exclusive arrangement with a particular card network, so the bank will only provide the credit cards with that particular card network. Okay, on a review, it is observed that some arrangements existing between the card network and the card issuers are not conducive to the availability of choice for customers. There are no choices that are given to the customers. So in exercise of the powers that are conferred under section 18 read with section 10(2) of the Payment and Settlement System Act of 2007, the RBI has decided that the card issuers, first of all, they shall not enter into any particular arrangement or agreement with the card networks that restrain them from availing the services of other card networks. That means that the card networks cannot get into, the card issuers, the banks or the non-banks, they cannot get into exclusive arrangements with a particular card network. For sure, if you are taking the services of a particular card network, you have to get into an agreement, okay? Because when two entities are coming together, when the card issuer, the bank or the non-bank, is trying to take the service of the card network, for sure the arrangement has to happen, the agreement has to happen, but that should not be an exclusive agreement. That should not be an exclusive agreement, okay? So first of all, what is a card network? Card network is the network that is connecting the bank, merchants and the customers. So customers, they want to pay through their card, so they will like the merchant has the POS machine, point of sale machine, at which you are swiping your card. So the customer wants to pay to the merchant through the card. So now the customer is swiping the card on the merchant's machine. So this message, how this message will go to the bank that okay, transfer the money from the customer to the merchant, how this message is going to go to the bank, how the transaction will complete, that is through the card network. The card network, as soon as the customer swipes its card on the POS machine, the card network provides the message to the bank that okay, this customer wants to give this much money to the merchant, so kindly allow. Then the banks allow, and through the card network the money is transferred from the customer to the merchant, okay? So this is the whole idea. That's why the card networks are very important, because they are the network, they are creating the network between the customer, merchant and banks, okay? So the card issuers, so that's why the option can be provided to the customers that which card network they want to have. Card issuers, they shall not enter into any particular arrangement, any exclusive arrangement or agreement with card networks that restrain them from availing the services of other card networks. You can do an agreement that okay, this bank or this non-bank is getting into an agreement that it will take the card network services from Visa. But this should not be exclusive. This bank or non-bank can also take the services from MasterCard, RuPay, American Express and the Diners Club, okay? So the exclusive arrangement should not happen. Restrainment should not be there for any card issuer, okay? Card issuers shall provide an option to their eligible customers to choose from multiple card networks at the time of issue. So the customer should have the option. For existing card holders, so for the new card holders, they will have the option that okay, they can choose from the multiple card networks. For the existing card holders, this option may be provided at the time of the next renewal, when they want to renew their credit cards. This particular direction for arrangements from now onwards, if the bank is coming into any arrangement, it has to keep in mind that the arrangement is not such that it is restraining the bank from availing the services of other card networks. But for this particular idea that the card issuers has to provide multiple card networks opportunity to the customers, for this this direction shall be effective 6 months from the date of this circular. So this circular is released in March. So 6 months from the date of this circular, this particular arrangement or this particular direction will be applicable, that the card issuers shall provide compulsorily an option to their eligible customers to choose from multiple card networks, okay? And this particular direction shall not be applicable to credit card issuers with number of active cards issued by them being 10 lakh or less in number. That means if it is a small credit card issuer, that is like the cards issued by them being 10 lakh or less, so this direction that they have to provide multiple card networks to their customers, this direction shall not be applicable to this particular credit card issuer, that is a small credit card issuer. But this credit card issuer should follow this direction, that it should not get into some exclusive arrangement, okay? But this particular direction that it has to provide the multiple card networks, this is not compulsorily on the small credit card issuers that have like credit cards issued 10 lakhs or less than that, okay? Understood till now? Any confusion? See, the basic idea is that the card issuers should not get into any exclusive arrangement with any card network.
any card issuer should not get in any exclusive arrangement with any card network. And this is compulsory for all the credit card issuers. But the next direction, that is regarding the option to provide choice of multiple card networks, this is not applicable for the small credit card issuers because they cannot get into arrangement with multiple of the card networks. Okay, they might get into the arrangement or agreement with one or two card networks, but they cannot sometimes avail the services of all the card networks. So the small credit card issuers, they might not be able to provide the customer with the choice of multiple card networks. Okay, but they should not get into any exclusive arrangement. That is also the criteria. So card issuers shall provide an option to their eligible customers to choose from multiple card networks, and this will be effective 6 months from the date of this particular circular. So that is the idea. Any confusion till now? Card issuers and card networks shall ensure adherence to the above requirements. That means they should not get into any exclusive arrangement with a particular card network, or they should like after 6 months they have to provide the option of multiple uh, card networks to their customers. So existing arrangements, so card issuers and card networks should ensure adherence to the above requirements in existing agreements at the time of the amendment or renewal of the arrangements, as well as fresh agreements that are being executed. In these cases, the card issuers and the card network shall ensure that they are adhering to the rules and regulations. Okay, card issuers who issue credit cards on their own authorized card network, they are excluded from the applicability of this circular. So that is the idea, that card issuers that are issuing the credit cards on their own authorized card network, they are excluded from the above circular that we have discussed. Okay, so this is it for today. We have discussed the two important news articles, the finance current affairs. I hope you have understood both of them. Now this MOU, it can come in the descriptive answer writing as a part of a question. That means that what are the steps that have been taken by the Reserve Bank of India or by the government of our country to promote the usage of our currency, or to promote the digital transactions, or promote the services from our country, the digital services and the currency of our country. So in that case, you can use this particular example, this particular MOU as an example, that okay, RBI and Bank Indonesia, they have came into a MOU that is promoting the usage of the local currencies. Okay, so a question directly on this MOU cannot come because this is a very small MOU, that is not small, but this does not have many points to write. So this can be used as an example in many of the questions. Okay, regarding the recent developments that has happened in the currency scenario, or the promotion of our country, that we are trying to promote the currency, we are trying to promote the currency of our country. Okay, so that is the idea. And this so this is the first question. Now this is the second question. I hope you will be easily able to answer this question also. Very easy, just the directions that have been given by the Reserve Bank of India to the credit card issuers is not to get into any particular arrangement with a particular card network, and the multiple card networks option that has to be provided to the customers, that is that will be applicable from the date of the circular after 6 months of the date of the circular. So these are some of the points that you have to remember. Now there is a big announcement from EduTap that we have brought for you the comprehensive guidebook for RBI, NABARD and SEBI, so that through a single guidebook you can get many of your common queries answered. If you want to know about the syllabus, if you want to know about the pattern of the examination, if you want to get the previous year questions, that also you can get from this, like through this guidebook. And this is absolutely free of cost, to save your time, to save your efforts, and you can easily download the guidebook, and the link of the guidebook is provided in the description box below. Okay, now I want to show you the students that have given the right answer of the previous session question. So this was the first question, and here you have to tell the entity shall have a minimum net worth of 10 lakhs. So here is the answer. And the next question is that here indicative negative list is given. The applications under blockchain technologies is not a part of the negative list. So in both the question, the E is the answer. So the people that have given the right answer is Ayush, Sujit, Ashish, Sagar, Abhishek, Durga, no, okay, Durga and Debar Runath, Neera, as well as Amisha, Lokesh, Akash, Shubham, Android, Roshan, and Aditya, Kumar, Diksha, Harshdeep, Kingshuk, Rahul, Dipti, Aditi, YDV, Titanium, Ankit, Kaushal, Jayant, Gagan, Bhavna, Sorish, Vrishali, Glass, Ria. So these are the students that have given the right answer of the previous session, and I can see that many are the repetitive names. So it shows that how dedicated you are for your preparation, as well as how well you are understanding the topics. I will suggest you that keep on revising the topics a lot. Okay, and thank you for all your kind words. Uh, all the thank yous that you are giving me, that is like really, I'm really thankful to you all for your kind comments always. And the PDF of the class you will get in the Telegram group. Okay, so it is after 24 hours the PDF is released in the Telegram group. Okay, so this is it from my side. I hope that there is no question that you have, but if you have any question you can kindly share. Okay, thank you very much, Ankita, Sorish, for your kind comments and for your wonderful wishes. Thank you, Aditya. The students that ask that are these current affairs enough, so I'm trying to bring the most important news articles out there, but in the half an hour sessions we cannot cover everything that is coming in the newspapers, right? So go through the magazines that you have, go through the RBI website that is there. I'm trying to bring out the most important topics for you, okay, that can actually come in the examination. But sometimes like I cannot cover everything, especially the small news articles that are coming, that will not be logical to cover in the sessions. Okay, I leave the important ones, or I leave the hard ones and provide you the small topics that will be like not very enriching for you. So try to go through the RBI website. If you do not have the magazines of any of the course, so try to go through the RBI website directly, and you will see that many of the things are covered, many of the topics and the difficult topics are covered. So you only have to cover the easy ones or the left out ones. Okay, but I will suggest you that try from your side also, like once a week at least, go through the RBI website. Okay, okay, thank you very much everyone. I hope you have understood the both the news articles. They were easy to understand, and if there is any confusion you can comment down below. I will surely try to reply to your comments if you have any confusion, and as well as do give the answer of the homework question in the description box below. Okay, thank you very much everyone. Thank you very much everyone.